probate. Who gets paid first? I'd like you to think about a friend who's dealing with maybe a probate matter. But before they got there, you shared this video and they were better prepared. We would appreciate it, as will your friend. I'm Valerie Zammitti, an estate planning attorney in New York and New Jersey, and we're here to educate everyone for free. So please drop your questions for us, and hopefully together we can help some folks along the way. Now, typically by the time probate happens, you've already paid for certain expenses like the funeral, initial legal fees maybe to get things started. But there's always going to be additional administrative fees, whether or not you're going through the probate process, by the way. There's going to be accounting costs, maybe closing costs on real estate if you have to sell a piece of property, and of course the ongoing expenses for that property if one exists, among others. But beyond those necessary to sort of do the job of administering the estate, the first in line through a probate process to receive the monies left behind are valid creditors. Yes, you heard me correct. Creditors will be the first in line. And it's kind of a scary thing to think about because if you've got major bucks due, your family may be left with nothing. So you need to think about these things in advance and talk to proper counsel. Now, creditors could consist of like your mortgage company, a credit card, or someone that has a judgment against you like Medicaid, right? So now only after all of the expenses to sort of administer the estate and the debts are paid, do we then look at the beneficiaries through a probate process. If your last will and testament, and again, a last will does not avoid probate, it actually brings you to probate at that later time. But it does specify your wishes of who's in charge and how the assets are distributed. So if your last will designates particular people to receive specific amounts, those are going to be given prior to anything going to the remainder, which is oftentimes your higher focus when it comes to benefactors or your beneficiaries. So let me put this in perspective of an example. And I'm going to try to keep simple numbers here so you can follow along. Imagine a estate worth $100,000. Okay, we start with $100,000. And after funeral and administrative fees of, say, $20,000 and debts of only $5,000, so we've now spent 25 of the 100, we have 75 left for the beneficiaries. Not too bad so far, but if you've named, say, 3 of your grandkids to each receive $5,000 each, right? So 3 times 5 is 15. We're now down to $60,000 for the rest of your primary benefactors. Now, if you have 3 kids, they get $20,000 each out of the initial 100. I know that's a lot to consider, right? I would suggest again that you seek advice from proper counsel to think through these things, right? You won't regret that process to know all the what ifs, or at least do the exercise to think that through so that you're protecting the people you wish to protect, you're providing them as much as possible, and not accidentally kind of shifting things that doesn't match your goals based on what you initially believe would work. Your family would appreciate it as well. We hope you learned something new here today, that you choose to share this video, and please, from the bottom of our heart, as always, take care. Bye.